Keisha just told us that you called News Homer. Is that true?
I cannot confirm or deny. Yeah, I said he's gonna. I said he's got a missed pitch.
Yeah.
I haven't called that all year, so you get a gut feeling and you see his approach starting to improve, and I knew he was going to get a fastball right there. He had taken a good swing earlier in the game. I just kind of felt his balance was good, and he was seeing the ball at the right time, and I got lucky.
We saw some of that power in the fall. I remember seeing him hit a really impressive homer to like dead center at one point. Do you think it's just a matter of him kind of being more comfortable and seeing pitches better now that he's able to kind of go gap to gap with some more power?
We had to tone down a lot of his movement, and at this level, you're not going to get away with big high leg kicks and a lot of moving parts. These guys are too good at changing up the timing. So we had to tone down some things with him, and he's starting to understand a little bit more, I think, of his swing. There's still some things we have to correct, but a lot of it's just approach and seeing the right pitches for him to go on. And aggressive in the right counts to the right pitches. So if he can clean a few of those things up and continue to improve, the power's in there, sure. But we got to be able to utilize it with swing at the right pitches.
You've told us occasionally that there are still so many other arms still yet to see in the pitching staff. We saw a lot of them today, like Armbruster and a little bit of Lebemoff and things like that. What did you make of all the different guys that pitched today, given the lead that you were able to use some of the arms we don't see too often?
We got to keep those guys sharp and fresh, as much as we can. And, there was a couple guys that we didn't get in the game that we anticipated, Stevenson and Timmy Manning. So obviously we'll roll those guys into Tuesday and probably start one of those guys or Maddie. We'll still make a decision on that. But, we obviously want to get those guys in the game this weekend. And just the way it worked out, it didn't come to that fruition. But on the flip side, we were able to get some guys in there that we needed to get in games. I think it's important to get Austin Humphreys in there as a freshman and Lev, to get him back to the form he was in the fall and try to, make a few adjustments with him. Armbruster's, kept his mouth shut and done his job whenever we've asked him to. And, Tyler Valdez has an out pitch, with the slider. So trying to keep those guys engaged and in games is important.
Last night you spoke about the mentality that the team had, about the little details, and you guys had a 3-0 lead and kind of let it slip a little bit. But today was a little different. What were some of those differences that you noticed from the team today versus last night's win?
I think just a correction on the mentality, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday as a team, and that what are the expectations here? Are you going to put up 3 and then pull the parachute and coast the rest of the way, or are you going to finish the job? And I think it's got to be a mentality and a mindset that you play 9 innings, 27 outs, and one pitch at a time. You win every pitch, and we can start establishing that type of mindset in the way we approach a game. We got a chance to be good, but until then, we're just another team if we're expecting to throw our talent out there and let that do the work for us. So today was a little bit better mindset.
Was there anything specifically that maybe helped that resonate today versus prior games at all, do you think?
You'll have to ask the guys that. So we had a little chat about it last night. So hopefully that sink in a little bit.
Coach, with such a big lead, we were able to get a lot of different hitters in there as well. Guys to see at bats like Renato and some of those guys, but Isaiah Jackson being taken out there, it looked like he had a couple tough at bats. What was the reasoning, I guess, in terms of taking him out? He's kind of gotten off to a little bit of a slower start, but saw he left the game there around the 5th inning.
There was no underlying reasons why. I just wanted to. We were in a position of the game. I wanted to get Raj back in there and get him in at bat. Barnado again is one of those guys that's a talented kid, but we haven't had many opportunities to get him in there. I just felt that he's a middle infielder by trade, but he's athletic enough to go out in the outfield and does a pretty good job in center field. And I felt at that time of the game it would have been nice to get Raj in there and get him another at bat and try to get him going a little bit after not starting today. I just kind of want to keep those guys going. So I figured Raj is most comfortable in left and put him back in left, move Drake to center, and it had nothing to do with positives or negatives of his previous at bats. It was just more so wanting to get Rogers in there again.
Just wanted to touch base on Ethan Long. I think he missed his fourth straight game after getting something with that first game at Oklahoma State. What's his status?
He's going to see Doc tomorrow. As of right now, we're cautiously optimistic. A couple of the larger potential injuries, I guess, have been ruled out. So we're very hopeful that hamate disease that we got going around here with two of them is not the case, and Doc's going to look at those images tomorrow. So he'll have an appointment with him tomorrow, and we should have some clarity on situation moving forward with him. So I think right now, worst case scenario would be that the hamate bone. I'm not a doctor, I don't know, but I'm guessing that would be probably the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it's nothing, and hopefully he'd be ready to go here soon.
Is Johnny Weaver the other hamate?
Johnny Weaver and Nick McLean. So we've had 2 and potentially 3 in the last couple of weeks. So I don't know. It just they seem to come in waves, obviously.
What's Nick McLean's timetable looking like?
He's starting to feel better, moving the hand around pretty good, and my hopes are he's no more than a couple weeks away. We're going to try to get him cleared to start swinging here pretty soon, and then after that, as soon as he can get his timing and feel confident in swinging full go without it hurting, then it'd be a nice boost for us.
Is that Arizona series like an optimistic target for him?
I think so. That would be ideal if he can make that series. I'm not counting on it, but I'm hopeful. If you'd be able to make that series, certainly that's a big one.
Your starting pitchers obviously bounced back heavily this weekend, and Jonah stepping in, big spot for him today. He looked as great as he can. And going into first conference series next weekend, do you anticipate that'll probably be the same 1, 2, 3 going into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or is there more to figure out?
We'll talk about it as a staff. Certainly, one would think it's probably going to be that, but we're focused on whatever we got to do to beat Utah Tech on Tuesday, and then once we get through that game, we'll evaluate on who's going to go Friday, Saturday. I imagine Ross will probably go on Friday, and Christian will probably go Saturday, and then we'll figure out Sunday after Tuesday. So we got Owen and Timmy Manning that are going to throw, and potentially Matt Teeding on Tuesday. So we'll see how that shakes out and what gives us the best chance and best matchup that we have on Sunday. Jonah certainly didn't do anything to hurt his cause today.
I was checking out the weather report for Salt Lake next week. It looks pretty ugly. Is there like a contingency plan for whatever might happen up there if there's like a blizzard?
That'll be up to the conference, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a schedule maker. I know a lot goes into that, but it's kind of mind-boggling that we're going up there early. When we got the weather we have here early in the season, let's flip-flop it. I don't know. I'd go to Salt Lake later in the year when it's sun shines out, but it is what it is. We're gonna have to deal with it, and if we go up there and play, we'll have to put our snow gloves on and get ready to play. So they got to play in the same weather we do.
Just wanted to clarify on Johnny Weaver. You said he's the other hamate bone injury. What's his timeline look like relative to like Nick and already talked about Ethan?
He's about a week behind Nick, so I think most of those are usually 28, 30 days right on the button before they're playing again. So I would anticipate Johnny being back, probably the series after, maybe that Cal series, maybe. Would be, again, hopefully optimistic there. But, if we can get those guys back, I mean, that's certainly a shot in the arm for our lineup.
Who was your starting third baseman opening day? And obviously it seemed like that home run was just waiting on getting him a good swing and being able to, go out to left and do that. Did you feel that he really needed that for confidence when now, some injured guys are going to come back and you're going to have to shuffle the cards a little bit in terms of who's going to go 1 through 9?
No, I don't think it was needed. home runs are a result of good at bats and putting good swings on pitches. So that, to me, the consistency of his at bats are more important. You know, getting home runs are a result of just continuing to put together good at bats, and you know, his balance is starting to get a little bit better. Pitch recognition is starting to get better. It's still not where it needs to be, but it's improving. So you know, these are the freshman bumps in the road you're going to have, you know, at times. So we're continuing to work with him and continuing to have him improve. And obviously, like I said, he plays a pretty dang good third base defensively. So if we can get the bat to pick up a little bit like he's capable, then you know he's a nice piece to what we're doing.
There were a lot of players who saw action today were, you know, both positional and pitchers. Is that some of like the little details you were speaking about before? Just, you know, getting that big lead and then being able to insert players and give other guys days off and other guys reps.
I think that's a result of being locked in and ready to play. You know, I didn't go into this game expecting to get a bunch of these guys in. I was expecting them to play well, and if you can get out to a big lead like that, then certainly it's great to get Campy off his feet. Kid's been playing every day behind the plate, and put him in left field today, so it was nice to get him off his legs a little bit and rest him when we can. And it's nice to get these other guys in the game too. So to me, it's just you approach the game the right way and have the right mentality and let the results happen. And if we can approach it the right way and jump out to leads like that, I'd feel better. And certainly the other guys that are chomping at playing time get their opportunities as well.
Coach, just wanted to get some perspective in terms of Jonah, his sort of recruitment here, his background, how that sort of plays into what you've seen from him, you know, since arriving at ASU, and what sort of makes him fit into the culture here, I guess.
You know, Jonah started at Oregon State and then went to Central, and then we got him from Phoenix College, right? Phoenix College. I get them and Chandler Gilbert always mixed up. And you know, that was one of those things. You know, kind of late in the summer, we were wanting to make sure we had, you know, a realistic chance for him to pitch, and his numbers were outstanding last year. And you know, I talked to a guy I trust at Central, Anthony Gillich, who had him there, and you know, Anthony sang his praises and said, you know, he's got a chance to be really good. You just got to buy in to what you're doing. And so, you know, we had a talk before we brought him, and I told him this is how it's going to be when you come here. And he just wanted an opportunity and got here, and he's made the most of it. So he's been outstanding, and just his mentality, mindset, work ethic, the way he goes about it on a daily basis it's been great so far. And attacks the strike zone, which is what we ask.
Does that seem to be maybe the unexpected identity of this team in the early part of the year, of getting opportunities and making the most of it? I mean, there's so many players in the lineup, and now pitchers as well, that have stepped in maybe unexpectedly and have certainly made the most of the chances that you've given them.
I think the competition amongst the team is a good thing. And guys start getting soft and losing focus, somebody else is going to take your job. So to me, that's the edge you have to come with every day. And if you're not going to have that edge and you're not going to do what we ask you to do, then you're not going to play. And it's nice to have capable bodies to shuffle the deck if we have to. Certainly not, you'd like to get in a consistent lineup or a consistent rotation, but until these guys can prove the frame of mind where they can go out and do their job every time out there, I'm not saying they got to be perfect every time, but they have to go out with the focus and mentality to at least execute. And if they can't do that, we'll get the next guy up that can. And that's, you know, is that unfair? I don't think so. We're in a competitive world. So to me, I get the competition's a good thing. And so if we got guys that are chomping at the bit ready to play, then it should hopefully elevate the guys that are in there. And if they don't, then we'll get the next guy in.
Do you feel like at this point in the season there have been some guys that have complacent lapses, or where you have to sort of keep them in check, put in another guy for them? Like, to what extent have you sort of felt that?
I felt it as a team more so than individuals, really. To where that's the part where I guess sometimes I get frustrated is, you know, kind of having that killer instinct and coming to play, ready to play every day is whatever that is to get you ready. You got to figure out something. for me, it was, it could be color of the uniform they're wearing. For something, just get pissed off at something and get ready to play. Have the edge to play and be ready to go. And for me, that's sometimes where I get frustrated. Like, guys, you're representing Arizona State. You're not representing yourself. So if you want to be a lazy dog, that's fine, but don't misrepresent ASU. And to me, this program is bigger than any individual. So when you're representing something bigger than yourself, you got to come with it every day. And whatever that is that gets you going, you got to find it. And you can't have days where you don't show up and not ready to play. It's embarrassing. So, to me, that was the message last night after the game is, what are your expectations here? My expectations are here. And if yours aren't on the same wavelength as mine, then maybe this isn't the place for you. But as long as I'm at Arizona State, the expectations need to be higher. And just trying to get them to buy into that and have the mental capacity to be ready to play every day is what's important. And I've said it before, like, I can take losing as long as you go out and go about it the right way. And if you play hard and come out on the short end of the stick, it happens. I'm not expecting to go 56-0. But on the same token, you have to have an identity in how you play the game every day. And to me, it better be locked in mentally or it's going to be ugly. So that's the message we're trying to get through top to bottom to these guys is that you're representing a proud program. And when you go out and take the field, it should matter. It should matter to you, and your performance matters. So, and your mentality and the way you go about it matter.